Alright, so we're back again, and we've been asking people a lot of questions about their dogs. And you guys are first-time German Shepherd owners.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And this is your first German Shepherd ever.
Yes.
So what do you think about owning a German Shepherd? Let's start with that.
What do we think about it? I think it's great, right? It's been I guess we're at a year and a couple months with him at our house, and it's definitely provided a lot of work, entertainment, and frustration. So it's been awesome.
So break down the work, frustrations, and entertainment for
Alright.
people who don't understand that.
Okay. Yeah. So the work involved with specifically like a working German Shepherd. So that's basically you need to have a good schedule. A lot of people talk about structure, like new dog owners. I certainly didn't understand what that was initially. Like, oh, you got to give your dog structure. What is that? So for us, that's scheduled mental and physical stimulation. So for me, like before work, after work, we're doing some sort of work, whether it's obedience, exercise, or a combination. Then what did I say? Work.
Entertainment, frustration.
Entertainment, yeah. So of course, they're very active dogs. So they'll get you outside into nature. Once you get them kind of like off leash trained, it's an awesome experience just to be able to take your dog out into a field, a forest, and they stick there with you, and that's a great time.
Frustrations?
Go ahead.
Oh, she's the only one frustrated.
No.
I think the frustrating part is, this is part of being a dog owner in general, is that sometimes you don't feel like doing work, and you know that your dog needs work. So if it's raining for a week or freezing cold like it was last winter, you have to figure out how to get that energy out of your dog. And then another frustrating thing is when you know that they know something and they're not listening to you. That can be hard, but
Yeah. So if you get a good dog, it's going to be an asshole. So they're not going to listen to you from time to time. So that's when you have to provide consistency across both sides of both shifts, right? Because I'm not always going to be with the dog. It'll be vice versa. So he might push her more than he'll push me, or he knows I can get away with certain things, or each owner might have different expectations.
And is the German Shepherd your only dog?
no.
No, we have a lab as well. Yeah.
And what is the difference between the lab versus the German Shepherd?
Big
It's a pretty big difference. The lab, it's harder to train. I don't know why, but I also don't enjoy training her or working with her as much, which might sound awful. She does her own cool stuff, like she does some scent work stuff, but she gets really tired of doing reps. When our shepherd will just keep going, he'll be pushing you to do more reps.
So is the lab a working line lab, or just kind of a dog that you just got?
Questionable. Like I would put her more along the lines of she would fill a really good therapy dog role. Like she's a dog that'll climb up in Cameron's lap in the evening and just lay there, and that's her job pretty much, is to provide that kind of companionship. But labs are supposed to have a drive to go retrieve things, bring it back. She'll go retrieve it, but she'll never bring it back, no matter how long we've worked over it. She wants to tug like a pit. She's her own thing, but she's a good dog.
So there's a difference between having a working dog and a pet.
Yes.
And May
Right.
more your pet,
Right.
and Sam is going to be more of the working line stuff.
Right.
So what made you guys decide to get a German Shepherd?
So I think.
Well, we got the lab because we wanted some protection, and then once we saw her traits starting to develop, she was not going to be a protection dog.
Yeah.
She'll invite a stranger in.
All we really wanted was a dog that would bark, sound the alarm, because I think that's what most people need, is a dog that'll bark, and then a self-defense tool or whatever you like, if that's your concern. So she would not do that. So we're like, hey, of course we came out here working with Stan with our lab May, got exposed to all the protection side of things, and we're like, oh, that's what we want. That's what we need. It's a dog like that. Everybody in America needs a dog like that.
And we did start out between getting a lab and a German Shepherd, and then we kind of, I think, were less intimidated by getting a lab, and we both grew up with labs. so we were comfortable getting one. And then once we saw that, like, oh, we can take on this, we can train this dog, we're capable of that, it's teachable, and if you get a good line, then they are, you know, they have those good genetics that kind of make it a little bit easier to do.
So, what is the hardest thing about owning a German Shepherd?
The hardest thing. So
Matching their energy sometimes, like I said before, you have to be willing to do the work when you don't feel like it. And this dog sleeps with one eye open, like he's almost never tired. So that can be difficult, but I mean, he's a really great dog. It's hard to pick out something that's
And
difficult.
I think initially, like when you're not super familiar with the breed, right? So you're gonna end up with a dog that wants to chase, bite, and bark. I know initially, like there were some concerns around, like he came from a property out in the country where it's kind of a different environment. We brought him into our neighborhood, and he was kind of really teed up, like
overstimulated.
Maybe. You get concerns about like, oh, is this dog going to be reactive or have issues? And so initially that was like a big thing, but through Irish Heart Canine and all the folks we know, we have a really good resources network to learn and work through all those problems. So they ended up working themselves out, and now we don't have anything. But I guess the hardest part would be avoiding issues, and then also my own like personal wheels of when you're a new dog owner, especially if you have a dog you have aspirations for, you're going to drive yourself crazy of thinking, hoping, wishing, comparing yourself to others. So that was probably the hardest part. Not anything the dog's really done actually.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
So, what would you tell somebody if they were thinking about getting a German Shepherd? What would something that they need to know?
Pace your expectations. Know what you're getting into. It's again like if you know that you want a pet, then get a breed that fits a pet. If you want a working dog, then get a working line breed.
And then another big thing as far as what I would tell somebody is that you have to recognize what drives your dog, what's going to satisfy your dog. So like I said, bite, bark, chase. So you as the owner need to provide mental stimulation, and then those outlets in some way or another. So that's with tugs, balls, and obedience. And you just kind of have to have a good consistent schedule, provide structure, kind of like we mentioned. So outside of the exercise stuff, like in the house, for us, you're calm in the house, you're on your place, or if we're gone, you're in a crate, or you're going to stay on your place. And there's you have to make sure that they are aware of the rules, so that y'all can maintain a good relationship.
Makes sense. So you would say if you were getting one of these kind of dogs, training is very important, not too important?
Yeah, I'd say it's super important, and it's one of those things that like I said, you need to surround yourself with people that think the same way, have that information, because if you go out there on the internet, you're going to find 50,000 different ways to do the same thing. You just don't want to get to a point where you lose confidence in yourself and what you do and what method you're following. You just need to find something, stick with it, surround yourself with people that can help you learn, grow, and you're going to end up with a good dog.
So that's something very important that you said. So there's so many different ways to get to the same end point, but you have to actually put the time in to see if that actually works for your dog. A lot of people, I've met personally, they'll try something for 2-3 days and it doesn't work, then they go to do something else. But they never give the time to get that foundation. They never give the time to the dog to actually understand what is expected from them in these particular situations. So, like you said, you want to make sure these people are putting the work into it that it needs to be done and giving it time to grow and develop. You said he's, they're like 18 months now?
About 2, yeah.
Yeah, so they're about 18 months, so it realistically takes about that long from when you get the puppy from 8 to 10 weeks. You're really going to be working with them for about 18 months before they're really like, all right, I know what to do in my household. I know what to do. Right. You guys know what to do, because you have to learn how to stimulate that dog, how to motivate that dog, and how to correct that dog. And a correction isn't always something physical. Sometimes it's they don't get the ball. Sometimes it's they don't get this meal. Sometimes it's you don't get to go for a walk. Mm-hmm. And you got to make sure that you're understanding all of these aspects of owning a dog.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say it is easier to having a male dog or a female dog?
Ooh.
Good question, huh? Yeah.
I don't know if it's difficult to like assess that because we have such different breeds of dogs, and so I don't know if because he's a male, he wants to do like good work. I don't know. That sounds bad, but like he wants to he wants a job to do, and that's the thing. Like if you give him a job, he will do whatever you want all day long. Our lab could care less. Like she wants to snuggle, and she doesn't care about working, and so that's a really hard decision.
For me, I'm gonna say
question.
the boy's easier. Like I said, I appreciate him more. I'm in a I'm a house with a wife, 2 female cats, a female dog, and so I finally got my dude to hang out with me. And so he's a lot rougher. That's another thing, just for you new owners. You're gonna have to be understand these dogs are tough. It's rough play. You're gonna get some teeth's gonna hit your skin every once in a while, as long as it's not serious.
Maybe that's why to go back to your question on like, maybe the most difficult thing is, like, I don't play with him a lot. I will train him, but he's so like fired up, and when he plays, it is a little bit more aggressive, and the lab is sweeter, and so that's why Ryan likes training him more.
Yeah, I tell people, it's like, if you didn't understand Tiger King or why those people have lions and tigers, get a German Shepherd that wants to work, and you'll understand.
Terrifying.
Yeah, no, this is awesome.
Yep. I like it. it. All right, so I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Unless you have anything else that a new German Shepherd owner should know. How's the grooming? Is that?
Oh, I love brushing him. It's a lot of vacuuming.
How often do you
Probably
brush?
brush like once a week, but you could vacuum every day and fill up a whole vacuum container. But they shed a lot, but I think like grooming is really important to maintain a good looking dog.
So cool.
I think we covered it all.
All right, sounds good. So, as always, people, do your research, create a routine, get some structure, and know what you're getting before you get into it. And if you don't, find a trainer, find somebody that's going to lead you in the right direction. So, as always, we appreciate you guys. So, stay tuned, stay safe, stay sharp. Take care of your dog.